Hello, this is the video number 4 to demonstrate you how to start entering gauges for your leases. So first you are on the home screen and there is a button Enter Gauges. Click on it and you will see the list of leases assigned to you by your operating company or operating companies. Here in the left up corner there is a calendar. You can click on it to select any other day that you would like to enter gauges for, but this date can't be older than 45 days, and you can't enter gauges for future dates, only for today. Today is December the 5th, or for any date within 45 days period. And as you see, the days in the calendar are in red, in green or in yellow. If a day is green, this means that you have entered and completed gauges for all of your leases, and there is nothing that you have to do with this date anymore. So I have chosen the green date here, and I can see that there are check marks for all my leases here, and this means that I have completed all of the gauges and sent them to the website and operator can see them. If the date in the calendar is yellow, this means that gauges were completed only for some of leases, and there is still some work to do. You still have to complete gauges for other leases. And if the date in the calendar is red, then this means that you have not completed gauges for any of your leases, and you have to complete them for all of them. So also on the screen Enter Gauges, in this table you see 6 columns: lease name, lease number, tanks, meter stations, wells, and section completed. Check marks will appear in these cells as soon as you are done with entering gauges for tanks, for meter stations, with checking wells, or as soon as you complete entering gauges. So let us start entering gauges for the lease chowning for December the 5th. So if you would like to start entering gauges, click on the lease, and a new screen will appear where you will see gauge ID. This is the gauge ID, the date that you are entering gauges for, and of course the name of the lease. So first there are 4 tabs: Enter tank gauges, Enter meter station gauges, check wells, and their last section is runs and other. So whatever to enter first, what you would like to enter first depends on you. The order here is not fixed, and for example you can start with entering first meter station gauges or checking wells and then come back to entering tank gauges. So I would like to enter tank gauges first. I click on a line, Enter gauges, for example 10 feet 8 inches and 2 quarters. Then I click OK and go to the next tank, and now I enter gauges for it, for example 8 feet 4 inches and 1 quarter. Then click OK, and this gauge will also appear in the table here. This icon here means that if the drop is dark blue, this means this tank has oil in it, and this transparent icon means that there is water in it. Gauges for water tanks are not mandatory, they are optional. So I can proceed to the next step, to entering meter station gauges. So I click No here and enter meter station gauges. Click OK, and then this meter station gauges will appear here. As you see, they can be gas meter stations and water meter stations. For my lease chowning there are no water stations set up, so I go to the next step to check wells. If everything is okay with wells, you can simply go to the next step, but if there is a problem and you would like to report it, click here on Report a Problem, describe the problem, offer resolution, select problem urgency, and then click OK. Unless you haven't completed this field or haven't described problem urgency, you will not be able to report a problem. All these 3 items are mandatory. I click OK, and then I see my problem here, and then I go to the last tab. This is runs and other. Here what can I do? I can report a comment, leave a comment for the whole gauges. I can schedule pickup for oil tanks. I can report a problem for any of the tanks. I can enter run ticket information for oil tanks, and I can report other disposition for any tanks. So to schedule pickup, click on it, then select a date where you would like the oil to be picked up, and click set. Also, you can leave a comment, but this is optional. Then click OK, and in the table on the screen of the application you will see that you have scheduled to pick up for December the 8th for tank 701. Then you can report a problem, for example for water tank. All fields here are mandatory, so you have to describe a problem, you have to offer resolution, and to define problem urgency. Let it be medium this time. Then click OK. Then report a run ticket. To report a run ticket, you have to enter ticket number, date, open gauges and close gauges. All the other fields here are optional. You can also take a photo of the run ticket if you want. This field here shows the calculated sales barrels, and it will be calculated automatically by the system. You don't have to enter there anything. So for example, the pickup was on the 2nd, on December the 2nd. The open gauges were like this, and the close gauges were like this. Then you see that calculated sales barrels appear here automatically. You click OK, and here it is. Also, you can report other disposition. Here you have to enter the date, then top gauges, then bottom gauges, then leave a comment if you wish. For example, water was drained, and then click OK. You will see all the information in this table, and also you can leave a comment for the whole gauge file. If you would like to delete any of these items reported, you click on it again and click discard, and in this case it will disappear. I will click no because I am not going to delete it now. So after you are done with all the tabs, you have entered tank gauges, you have entered meter station gauges, you have checked the wells, and entered all the information in the last tab. You click complete, and if you have internet connection, your gauges will be completed and sent to the website, and the operator will be able to see them. If you don't have internet connection at the moment, your gauges will be completed and saved, but the operator will not be able to see them unless and you have to find an internet connection to send them to your operator. So after I have completed gauges, all 4 check marks appeared here. I can use this filter at the top of the screen to see what I need to do, what else I have to do today, and I see now only those gauges that are not, only those leases for which I haven't entered gauges yet. And as you can see, the date has become yellow, not red, because gauges for one lease have been already completed. So I can proceed and start working with other leases on the same date, or I can pick another date and enter gauges for the same lease but for the different date. To go back to the home screen, if I'm done with entering gauges, I click on Production Pro logo in the left top corner, and I will be taken to the home screen here. Thank you for watching.